Most thrilling things about supercars is their enormous speed, and quite frankly, I don't get out of bed for anything less than 200 miles an hour. But then Aston Martin announced that it had made its fastest ever car. So I threw off the duvet and ran to the nearest airfield. This is the new Aston Martin Vanquish S. It looks pretty similar to the ordinary one, but there's one very important difference. According to the company boss, this is the fastest road-going car in the history of Aston Martin. Yes, folks, apparently this Vanquish S will do over 200 miles an hour and hit 62 in just 4.8 seconds. And the ton in 9.8 seconds. To give it the extra pace, the standard Vanqu's 6-litre V12 has been extensively reworked, with new cylinder heads, a higher compression ratio, stronger conrods and a remapped ECU. So instead of just 460 bhp to play with, this S model has 520 horses feeding its big 19-inch rims. They've also added a front splitter, a flat underfloor and an F1-style rear diffuser to help create a low pressure under the car, which helps it stick to the tarmac at very high speeds. The suspension has been stiffened and lowered by 5mm, and the steering rack is 20% quicker. And most importantly, they've beefed up the brakes. Let's hope they work. Because I'm not just going to fling this Vanquish S around a few country lanes. No, I'm going to find out whether Aston's claims of over 200 miles an hour are actually true. Cracking 200 miles an hour isn't easy. First, you need somewhere big enough to do it. That's why we're at an old American Air Force base. It's massive with over 2.5 miles of tarmac. In fact, it's so long, it's an emergency landing strip for space shuttles. We have our own emergency services, fire and ambulance crews are on standby, and speed experts, Datron, have not only fitted precision timing gear to the car, but they also have a mobile rig monitoring my every move. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm not a big fan of top speeds. I'm so in the wrong job today. Come on, girl. First gear, second gear, third gear. 92 miles an hour into fourth, 103 miles an hour. Keeping the foot flat to the floor into fifth gear, 136 miles an hour, still flat. Into sixth gear, 164 miles an hour, 168, 170. 174.7. Onto the brakes, the car's slightly unsteady as I go onto the brakes, using the gears to help me slow down. Oh, got a heart rate of 170 odd. What I have noticed is that I can brake a bit later because I'm using the gears to help me slow down as well as the brakes, so that sort of bought me a bit more tarmac time. So I shall try that on my second approach. I would be astonished if we get to 190. Because when you start getting to sort of 170, 180, it's doing that extra sort of 10 miles an hour, getting that little bit more, that's the problem. But with that later braking point, maybe I was in with a chance. Third gear. You can really feel all those horsepower just trying to push out through the rear wheels. Fifth gear, 141. Flat to the tank. Creeping up to 7,000 RPM, 168 miles an hour. I've got to change gear now, sixth gear, 170. Lifting off, onto the brakes. At 178.06 miles an hour, I plainly wasn't going to get anywhere near Aston's 200-plus claim. 2.5 miles just isn't long enough. According to our timing experts, at the rate the car was accelerating, I would have needed another 2 miles. But would it have made it? Frankly, I can't be sure. But I do know that it's one thing to own a 200-mile-an-hour car. It's quite another finding somewhere to max it.
Towards the end of